What do you mean it's not a good love story? Okay, let me hear your reasons. What? Are you serious? I did not know that. Oh my. You're kidding me, right? Please tell me you're kidding. Damn. Oof. I don't think people would like hearing that. Hello, everybody. This is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back again with more Warcraft 3, another topic, and more commentary for everybody. Uh-oh, there's Sylvanas, and it looks like she's got a plan. What are you gonna do, little Death Knight? Hey, pal, here's what you gotta do. You just gotta say my name 3 times. Go ahead and say it. Come on. Say it. What do you mean? Ah, really? You're gonna make me bite. But you better say my name. You better. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Bang the bell. Now then, say it. 1, 2, 3. The Jew. Hey, little Death Knight. Word of advice, man. You gotta charm the ladies. You don't just take that big sword of yours and wave it around her. Yes, I did enjoy the original Beetlejuice movie and the Beetlejuice cartoon series. But I digress. Let's get into today's topic. And today's topic is more or less modern romance is trash. Now, I can hear a bunch of different voices saying, Ghost Hunter, you're just biased because what's going on with your life. Okay, I can admit emotionally, yeah, I probably am biased. But rationally and logically, nah, I'm stone cold. In fact, where's my beer? Someone throw me a beer here. Come on. But my point is that modern romance is just trash. Now, how can I say it is trash? Gee. Considering the dating statistics of 2024, I think that speaks enough for itself. And if you don't believe me, go check them for yourself. Trust me, it's mind-boggling by what's going to happen by 2030, basically. Also, I've also heard 2042 here, so we'll see how that pans out. But I digress here. Now, where do most women get their idea of romance? They get it from the movies. And what was held as one of the greatest romantic movies? The Titanic. And it's the story of Jack and Rose and their fun little time on the RMS Titanic, and how Rose seemingly fell in love with his charm and his wit. And it was a tragic love story. Now, I could sit here and say gag me because the truth is way nastier. But I'm not going to sit here and say gag me. I'm just going to tell you what the real story was. Now, what was the real story here? Well, for one, Rose was not some 18, 20-year-old woman. She was a 14-year-old girl who was married off to her husband by her family. Now, this was an arranged marriage. In 1912, amongst the higher society, arranged marriage was practiced, but it was not fully in practice. Places in the world where it's more practiced is India, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Maybe if you're in the right social circles in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that would be arranged marriages right there. But I digress here. It was an arranged marriage. And, I do feel bad for Rose, because who wants to be told what to do? Who wants to be told this is how you're going to live your life? Trust me, I don't like it when people try and dictate that crap to me. I'm pretty sure she didn't like it either. But Ghost Hunter, Rose was so miserable. She hated her life. Correct yourself. She didn't hate her standard of life. She hated how her life was being dictated to her. As in, if you remove the husband and the social pressures, and she had that level of wealth that she could run around and do whatever she wanted, she would not have tried to jump off the ship in that one scene. Now, I can hear a couple guys going, "Oh, wow, what a brat." Frankly, I don't think she was a brat. I think it had more to do with just the general unhappiness with the situation, to be frank here. Now, back to the quality of living here. The tickets for the HMS Titanic at the time, in 1912, cost $1,600. That's 1600. And back then, that was a lot of money. And Rose's husband did not buy one. He did not buy two. He bought 3 here. 3 tickets for first class. And, the standard house price back then was approximately $2,500. 2500. And he bought 3 first class tickets. If he took that money to the right areas, he could have bought a whole block of houses if he did it right. Finally, Rose was not unhappy with her quality of life. She was unhappy with her treatment, how she was expected to be. Pure and simple. That's the only reason why she hated her life. Now, as we progress through the movie here, I can hear the people saying, "Oh, if Jack had lived, he and Rose would have loved each other, and they would have had happily ever after." No, they wouldn't. Okay, as an example here, let's fast forward back in time now to 2024. The dating statistics right now are in the trash. You don't believe me? Go look them up. I might even post a link to a few of them. But I digress here. For dating apps, if you can actually match, 70% of those matches tend to lead to at least some type of relationship. At work, let's say you meet somebody at work, it's 63%. And if it's through friends and family, it's 85% that a relationship might happen. Now, 70% of relationships fail in the first year. Why this is? It's a coin toss. It could be finances, job, moving, family problems, money problems. It could be a whole myriad of things. It's, spin the wheel. Family problems. It's it's not necessarily random, but just for this example, it could be a multitude of factors here. But most relationships do not make it past their first year. Now, that's the dating spectrum here. Now, when you go to relationships that start at infidelity, it's 93 to 95%, with 5 to 7% actually becoming a relationship, and only 1 to 3% actually becoming a proper, strong relationship. Now, I can hear the smarter people going, "Why is there such a range?" Well, the research study that I found entitled "Love and Infidelity" it basically drew data from a bunch of other peer-reviewed studies, and they didn't tighten up the methods, they didn't tighten up the definitions, and they did a comparative, what's the word I want to say here? A comparative statistic would be the best way to say this, and they basically came up with that margin. Now, that being said here, in the study it also cited that, relationships that start out as infidelity, there's oftentimes a lot of trust issues. For one, because of how the relationship started. Two, there's also the fact that to make the new relationship, what happened to the previous relationship, of how that happened, it often leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and it can also lead to a lot of embittered people too, frankly. 3 is also the impact that it has on children, and frankly, the impact on children is really bad. So there is that aspect of it too here. So that being said here, most relationships that start off as infidelity fail due to many factors, but the big one being trust. So with that being said, Rose's relationship with Jack, had Jack lived, they might have lasted a year before she left because she was used to a higher standard of living, as it were. And, I hate to break it to you, once you become accustomed to something, it kind of is hard to walk away from that, sadly. So that being said, seeing as that Jack himself in the movie said, I don't have anything to offer you. It was basically he couldn't provide the lifestyle she was accustomed to. Not to mention the hardships from a decrease in quality of life too here. There are a couple stories out there about that kind of stuff. Riches to rags, and how, it really shakes up some people's lives. There are people who have those stories out there, and I suggest you go find them. And if you really don't believe me, look up Anderson Cooper, who might still be on CNN, and look up who his mother's family was. That plays a big role there as a real life example. Now, with what I said being the case here, Jack and Rose's relationship would not have lasted. And, from Rose's perspective, her relationship with Jack was nothing more than a fling. Her great act of rebellion. That's what it was to her. To Jack, it was like the queen coming down and, not doing something she should only be doing for the king, basically. Enough said there. That would have been Jack's mentality. But the thing that has to also be remembered here is that Rose's attitude for the movie was not right for the time period, frankly. It was more closer to a 21st century idea than it was a 19th century idea as well. You don't believe me? Just go look at how I'm pretty sure there are a couple YouTube videos out there about the history of this, and I suggest you go find them. But look up how different relationships were, and look how different the laws and lives were back then. Trust me when I say this. It was a very different world. But that being said here, with this example out of the way here, this is what modern women have come to expect in the back of their heads, that, if the relationship with the main guy isn't working out, I can get this other guy and it'll warm my heart and make my life better. Yeah, if you honestly believe that, go check out on Reddit, am I the A for giving my mom this book? Or am I the A for telling my mom that I want nothing to do with her because of she threw me away for her new family? Those stories are on that subreddit.
This is more like it.
And frankly, you should go look at them. Now, in turn, what is my idea of a proper romantic relationship? The relationship that my mother's parents had, my maternal grandparents, they did not separate until my grandmother died of Alzheimer's related dementia. And, she forgot who her husband was. She forgot who her children were. She forgot who her grandchildren were. It's a very sad situation that people go through. But, again, that is my idea of a proper marriage, a proper relationship. Now, do I know all the ins and outs of my mother's parents' relationship? No, but, they held it together for more than 50 years. So, I'll give them the street credit that they're due there. But, but it's like I said in an earlier video, it's the honeymoon phase for a lot of relationships. As soon as the honeymoon phase is over, boom, on to the next person. As soon as the honeymoon phase is over, boom. Honeymoon phase over, boom. It's like I said in an earlier video, it's the dopamine hit. It's the dopamine rush. You're chasing that endorphin high. And frankly, it's pretty unhealthy. Now, are there ways to combat this? Frankly, not doing it. But considering how humans are when it comes to how dopamine works, it's a pretty hard thing to break.
What is it now?
But, are there things that could be done to fix this? Yeah. Media could sit there and stop glorifying the Sex and the City lifestyle as a big number one here, and actually start encouraging people to do things that make them happy instead of what society says to make you happy. I mean, you don't believe me that there are a ton of unhappy women? Go look on TikTok and listen to those women complaining about this, that, and the other thing. And, also have the media promote strong, healthy, relationships in the nuclear family and all that. Is the media likely to do that? No. So with that in mind here, this is my 2 cents and also my warning. This is Ghost Hunter 385 signing off. I will see everybody in the next video.